मोले इथं होऊ घातलेल्या प्रकल्पांना विरोध करण्यासाठी राज्यातील विविध युवा संघटना एकत्रित आल्यात। मोले अभयारण्यात येणारे प्रकल्प त्वरित रद्द करा, त्यानंतर गोव्याच्या विकासावर चर्चा करू अशी भूमिका युवकांनी घेतली आहे।
So Vishwajit Rane, after the rise in the fees of Goa Dental College by 833%, he had increased the fees of the GDC students by 833% fees that increase ke liye. And now he comes up with a clarification wherein Vishwajit Rane states that it was a matter of only communication gap. After we had threatened them that within 3 days, if you don't take action, we will come out and you will have to face consequences. That is when he comes out with this statement. So this is nothing, but he was trying to play with the minds of the students. He was trying to loot the students, and he thought that this no one would see. But we as the NSUI, we are strong enough. The opposition party, the Congress party, stood strongly with the students of Goa, and we will not allow this loot that the government is trying to do with the students. Students are the future, and during this pandemic, you have increased the fees by 833%. This is not a joke. You need to take this seriously, and we strongly demand that if such a thing happens again, we will not keep quiet and come out with the notice as soon as possible. Right now, you have only given a statement. We want an official statement, an official notice, and if the statement is not coming within 3 days, we are here to take consequences, and you will have to face the consequences. Vishwajit Rane and the government of Goa will have to face the consequences.
You दुसऱ्या गावांची has rise as one Goa. Okay, हे 3 प्रोजेक्ट जे गव्हर्नमेंटान पास केला तांचेर आमी निषेध मारतात आणि आमची 5 मागणी, आमची रिक्वेस्ट आम्ही गव्हर्नमेंटा मुखार दवरतात. So now Leander will start with the discussion.
Mole is a beautiful place, and what is happening there is pure destruction. They say development is taking place, but development at the cost of 70,000 trees, and that's the number given to us before the cases were filed, before it was objected. And what I know best is 2,000 trees were cut even before that, and 2,000 that I am aware of. So at this cost, is it development or is what is happening destruction? With the little number that I've screamed out, again, is it development or destruction? Is it tokenism or do we have transparent knowledge? Now let me tell you what tokenism is. I've been saying tokenism for a while. Let me tell you what tokenism is. According to Wikipedia, it is a practice of making only a pre-functory or symbolic effort to be inclusive of members of minority groups. Okay, in simple words, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, it is the fact of doing something. Permit me to read it so that I can get it right? The fact of doing something only to show that you are following rules or doing what is expected or seen to be fair, and not because you really believe it is the right thing to do. What you might be saying is, well, jobs are created, right? There's development taking place, destruction happening, but there are jobs being created. From what information I've received from my personal trip to Mole is that after the members filed an RTI asking what jobs are there and who is getting the jobs, let me quote, the jobs are lined up as follows. There are jobs for the Sarpanch, his kids who are not even going to school yet, people in power, if you all know who I mean, people who have jobs already are lined up with jobs. And why does this happen? Because of pure destruction. Pure definition of how jobs are lined up just so that their projects can get through. So again, is it development or is what is happening tokenism? But you might be saying, hey, I hear reforestation is taking place, right? Isn't this making up for the destruction that is being done at Mole? Now, I would like to request you all personally, if you all haven't been to Mole, a lot of kids from here have been to Mole. But if you all haven't been to Mole, I request you all to take a trip there. Obviously, take precautions, but take a trip there and especially go to the place where reforestation is taking place. Now, when I went there, to my luck, the reforestation was just being started there. And let me tell you what is actually happening, okay? In case you all can't make it, it is a hilly area and a rocky hilly land. They were literally drilling through the rocks to plant saplings. Okay, they were planting saplings through the rocks. Now there's little or no water supply at all. So the water supply that is given is very complicated and can be disrupted very easily. What's even worse is that there's no even 1 meter distance between 2 trees. Now There are trees like tamarind, mango, and there's a creeper planted. It's planted. Okay, I'm not even making this up, but it's planted. And there's not even 1 meter distance. So the trees won't have space to breathe and come out, won't have roots to go through, and then it won't grow. So this is just being done to show that reforestation is taking place. Again, does this match the definition of what tokenism is? It's up to you all to read. But what I hate most is if you're destruct what is happening in Mole, there's thousands and thousands of species of plants and trees that are going to be going extinct. Let me use the word extinct because you can't find those trees, and to plant them again is very difficult, and that doesn't happen. Let me read out this amazing factor that I read online, right? So you all know that Mole is a part of the Western Ghats, right? One mature tree, they absorbs around 22 kilos of carbon dioxide each year. 22 kilos. And a new sapling absorbs 6 kilos. So see the difference between that. And felling 70,000 trees will be a lot. And I can't even begin to tell you all how difficult it will be for all the Goans and the Indians because it is a part of the Western Ghats. Let me not get into the depths of what is happening with regards to the roads, but what I would like to see is our people have been very, very generous when it comes to giving. I don't know if it's because it's Christmas or because the plan started in February 2019. Maybe it was Valentine's Day, I really don't know. But it's not yours to give away, neither is it mine. It's protected for a reason, and we can only imagine if these plans go through, what will happen next. Although we would oppose to it, be transparent and do not use a tokenistic approach with us because clearly it's not working out. If it was working out, we wouldn't be doing this, right? But first we want the projects to be revoked, 100%. We want that. The youth today is standing here to ask her to revoke the projects 100%. We want clarity on where the project's permission have been granted because according to us, there is no proper paperwork. So again, what I'm saying is be transparent with us. Do not use a tokenistic approach. We will no longer partake in your burdens of discussing these projects while they are still in motion, right? We will not be a part of your PR stunts anymore. Revoke these projects and your actions will be amended, and only then we will listen and talk. And in 2022, we will remember. I would like to end by saying this. Revoke the projects and then maybe we can have a discussion. And I can bring my 5-year-old niece to explain what development is, or even better, what sustainable development is. Now, to transition to a very formal and ecological and legal matter, I request Gabriela to please take over.
In addition to helping us being resilient to climate change, the forests have hundreds of wildlife species that are included in the Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 of the Wildlife Protection Act, which is the most important protection given under the law. These include the tiger, the dhole, the mouse deer, gaur and the Indian pangolin, as well as thousands of other species. It also comes within the Dandeli Anshi Tiger Reserve, and it is very important tiger corridor. And while the rest of the world is doing everything in its possible capacity to protect the last remaining tiger species, the Goa government seems to be doing everything in its power to actually prevent tigers being conserved. In addition, destruction of the Mole Wildlife Sanctuary and the other parts of the Western Ghats will also propagate what we are very commonly now know as zoonotic diseases such as coronavirus, which has probably put us in the situation we're in is because we have previously destroyed large sections of forest. Being in the middle of a pandemic, the government has still passed these 3 projects, knowing that destruction of forest areas puts humans more in contact with wildlife and actually increases the possibility of zoonotic diseases coming in. And in terms of a legal perspective, if we look at the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, there are 2 sections that are really important. Section number 29 and section 35(6) state that no destruction whatever can be made to the land and waterways of any wildlife sanctuary or national park unless it is for the improvement and the better management of the national park. Please tell me how a railway, a highway and a transmission line is beneficial to wildlife and the wildlife sanctuary. If this is not the case, then this is a clear violation of the Wildlife Protection Act already, and these projects should not go ahead. The 3 linear projects are fragmenting Goa's main protected area into 3 chunks. This will destroy the integrity and the protected area forever. Once you destroy a 150 million-year-old forest, where no amount of afforestation or mitigation measures will ever bring back the forest to its pristine state. We as the young people of Goa will not let our leaders make careless decisions on our behalf. We will not be known as the generation that loses our forests. We are and will continue to do everything in our collective power to safeguard Goa's forests. Thank you.
Practice the change we want to see in our society. We don't look away from the truth. We lean on each other when the truth brings up our backs. We remember that we stand for something bigger than each of us, something that is a part of each of us. We recognize the hope comes from our belief that we are doing the right thing and we are doing it together. We work on holding ourselves responsible and being accountable agents of change. In this way, we can feel no hesitation in holding each other and our elected representatives fully accountable and responsible. We understand we have periods, action and pause, and both are necessary for long-term well-being of what we do. We are, however, responsible for handling our roles to keep the momentum going. As Vikram De Silva, a young budding naturalist, said, "We need to change, but first you and me."
And I'll be talking about our goals. Our goals are to spread awareness and rebuild connection to our unique and irreplaceable forests. Ensure that our forests are protected and managed to the best possible extent. To articulate a vision of development that we the citizens do want to see in Goa, grounded in local, cultural, scientific and legal values. This vision of development does not involve destroying forests. We strive to safeguard and create a Goa that future generations can thrive in, based on the principle of intergeneration equality and 7 generations of stewardship. Now, as a young people of Goa, we put forth our 5 demands.
My name is Bhavin Pereira and we are having our 5 demands to the government, and maybe after these demands are met, we can have we may have a discussion and to this project. Our first demand is send immediate representation to MOEF and CC to scrap the wildlife clearances granted to the 3 Rainier infrastructure projects by the Standing Committee of National Board on 7th of April 2020. What this means is that we demand the Goa government to write a representation to Ministry of Environment and Forest to scrap the wildlife clearances given to these 3 projects. Why? The wildlife clearances are supposed to be based on the decision of the State Wildlife Board. The State Wildlife Board members have come out in opposition to all these 3 projects. The EIA has not been considered, and the EIA reports are not well studied and scientific.
The projects also affect the Karnataka side and they have not got forest clearances. So why is the Goa government going ahead with the projects when the Karnataka side is not? We do demand that the Chief Minister and the Forest Minister use their chair to issue this simple direction to the Forest Department. So we say that to revoke this project and we can have conversation, proper conversation.
Good evening to everybody here. I am Princy Fateh and I'm from Mapsa. So the 4th demand is direct the Goa FD and MOEF to reject the 7 pending forest clearance proposals applied by the project proponents. PWD for road, SWR for rail, and Goa Tamnar Starlight for transmission line. This is not rocket science. This is the easiest step for the Chief Minister and Forest Minister to take. You only need to direct the Goa Forest Department to return the proposals back to Goa Tamnar, Southwestern Railways and the PWD, who are the user agencies. The projects end there.
Our 5th demand is to stop all work related to double lane of railway line by SWR on non-forest land in violation of the guidelines under the Forest Conservation Act 1980. We demand that you stop work related to double tracking on non-forest land, given that you don't have all the clearances and are again trying to pass projects in a piecemeal manner which cannot be used to pressurize us. Lawyers have also sent in their representations stating the guidelines of the Forest Conservation Act. It states that if you don't have all the clearances, don't start the work. The lawyers have pointed to the need for the government to follow due process and the law of the land. Get all the permission and only then start the work, and don't waste our public money.
Our first and main demand to the government is that we ask you to stop tokenism about engagement with us. You can't approve a project in public interest without both due process and our consent and then tell us we can talk about it. It is clear. First, revoke the clearances related to Mole and then start discussions. Second, on one hand, you put up the Goa State Action Plan for Climate Change and ask for comments, and on the other hand, you will go ahead with the projects despite the youth, and not just the youth, but scientists, doctors, lawyers, architects, veterinarians, and so many more, sending numerous representations citing the irreversible damage of destroying Mole National Park and Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary, which is Goa's largest protected area that is a part of a global biodiversity hotspot. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, in 2019 shows how the Western Ghats have given us resilience to climate change and will allow for better adaptation against the effects of climate change. By not revoking clearances and destroying the Western Ghats, you are destroying our future. And this tokenism is not only blatantly apparent, but also contradictory in nature. Our goals and values as the youth of Goa are clear. Our vision for development does not involve destroying forests, and we will strive to safeguard and create a Goa that future generations can thrive in. We will not compromise in our intergenerational equity. Our natural resources are our shared inheritance, and it is the duty of the present government and all of us in Goa to ensure that future generations inherit at least as much as we did of a state that is truly worth fighting for. Third, many times the Goa government has tried to feign ignorance about these Mole projects as being central projects, and we will not allow you to feign ignorance anymore. Be brave enough to take up responsibility. Stop passing the buck. We would like to categorically state that the Goa government knows about these three proposals from its inception. In fact, they have forwarded these proposals based on approval granted by the Chief Wildlife Warden and recommendation of Goa State Board for Wildlife to the central government. We like to remind the government to remind themselves of our treasured Constitution of India. As per the 7th schedule of the Constitution, our forests and wildlife appear on the concurrent list. Thus, the state and the center has equal power to take decision on them, and moreover, the final decision on forest diversion lies with the state. Fourth, we now ask the government of Goa to stop this widespread destruction, and we are willing to tell them the process on how they can do it. We first ask you, the Chief Minister of Goa, who is the chairperson of the State Wildlife Advisory Board, to send an immediate representation to the Union Minister of Environment and Forests, who is the chairperson of the National Board of Wildlife, to scrap the wildlife clearances given to the 3 linear infrastructure projects. You need to send a similar representation to the Regional Committee of the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change at Bengaluru to ask them to squash the forest clearances granted for the Mapsa-Sheldon transmission line, the Sheldon transmission line, and the approach road to substation at Sangod. Fifth, apart from these two relatively simple and straightforward letters that we put forth as a demand, we ask you to direct the Goa Forest Department not to issue any work orders to fell trees for the Goa-Tamnar transmission line and to stop all work related to railway double tracking on non-forest land, else you will have to face our agitations and uprising of many more youth across the state of Goa. To sum up, the final and easiest step to revoke these clearances, as the Chief Minister and Forest Minister, you only need to direct the Goa Forest Department to return these proposals back to Goa, Tamnar, Western Railways and the PW.
Yeah, so multiple scientists have sent letters to the Centrally Empowered Committee of the Supreme Court, to the Ministry of Environment and Forests, to the Regional Empowered Committee of the Supreme Court, stating the various issues as to why these projects are ecologically damaging. The environmental impact assessments of all three projects are not scientifically carried out, and there's not due process being done for the three projects. But most importantly, the three projects need to have a cumulative impact assessment, which is not being carried out, which means that all three projects need to be considered as one large project affecting Mole National Park, and that is not being done. So until any of this is done, it's pointless actually having a conversation. The projects have to be revoked, and then should the projects be really required, they should be done with due process, following the law, not like it's being done right now.
Why has 23 crores, 34 lakhs and 25,830 rupees being paid to the Karnataka government by Sterlite for compensatory afforestation in Karnataka, and the forests of Goa are being lost? There is in addition a violation of the law in allowing compensatory afforestation to happen in Karnataka.
My question to government is, why was the EIA approved despite conflict of interest and so many faults? For example, the mammal population is underestimated, no families affected is not mentioned, less duration of camera placing, no open-ended questions for the families, etc. In addition to that, each water sample tests positive for E. coli as per reports, which are 2 to 5 times that of permissible range, and it suggests that railway expansion will worsen it. Yet, no heed is paid to that.
साडी शॉपिंग करपाक आता बेळगांव वचपाची गरज ना. पणजीतल्या बॉम्बे बाजारात तुमका दर्जेदार प्रकारच्या साड्यो खरेदी करपाक मेळटा. नवीन व्हंकलेक नववारी असो किंवा उत्तर भारतीय लेहंगा, सिल्क साडी किंवा कॉटन साडी, तुमची पसंत आणि आमचे कलेक्शन. साडी स्वतः खातीर खरेदी करा किंवा गिफ्ट करा. बॉम्बे बाजार, 18 रोड, पणजी.